Hey everyone, it's Becky, and I just wanted to show you guys today some altered mousetraps that I made for a swap over at minialbumscraps.ning.com. The theme for the month was to do an altered mousetrap in like a love note theme. So that's what I tried to do. The other requirement was to use like 3 or 4 embellishments and use like pinks and purples and stuff. So I'll just kind of show you guys what I did. I just took a mousetrap. The first thing I did was I took all the metal off, all the trap. I did discard the middle piece that goes here and then the arm that comes up to set the trap, and I threw those away. And then I whitewashed the rest of the metal with gesso, and then I gessoed the wood, the base of it as well. So I had to leave the sides raw, so I just didn't want it to be plain wood. The other thing is that they stamped like the brand of the mousetrap into the front here, and so I didn't want it to potentially shine through the paper. So that's another reason why I gessoed it. So I used the Primo Romance novel papers. On the back here, I just cut it out and distressed the sides. I inked it with Vintage Photo and worn lipstick, and the first ink that I used was the worn lipstick, and then I just kind of went over it with the Vintage Photo in places, just to kind of so they both shine through. And then also it says on the swap that to hang these on a canvas. So I just kind of tied a ribbon, looped a ribbon, and then put a half back pearl. I glued it down. And then on the front, I inked the sides a little bit with the worn lipstick and the Vintage Photo on the wood, and I heat set it. And then the front is this paper, this pattern paper. I cut it the size of the mousetrap, but then like there's these metal loops that I had to cut it around. I inked and distressed the sides of this paper as well, but I didn't like where I had to cut it. I didn't like the way it looked, so I put this lace that I got from Lavish Laces on there, and I put the half-back pearls. I got the half-back pearls from Craft Supplies 1, and they're just kind of like a plastic. I don't know if you can see, but it's all one strand, and it doesn't really, it bends, but it doesn't like curve corners that well, so I kind of had to piece it together on the corners. And then let's see, I put the feathers. I got these feathers at Joann's, so I kind of glued these down, tucked them underneath the springs. I inked and distressed the little notes. This is a Tim Holtz tag. I don't know what these are called, tickets. And then these are like a postcard that's from the romance novel, and an envelope that I cut out. I got the 6x6 paper pack, and so these are probably smaller. I haven't seen the bigger, the 12x12, but these are actually pretty small, but it actually worked really good. I cut this out of the paper pack, and then on the ticket, I crinkled it up. I wet it and crinkled it up, and then dried it, and then used the worn lipstick and the Vintage Photo over it. This is from the paper, and I just fussy cut it out. I put glossy accents over it, and then I went around it with the worn lipstick, and I glued it just to the corner of the trap. On this, I watched a couple of videos that said to deactivate the mousetrap, so to take these arms off, but I couldn't because it wouldn't hold my notes in there, or these little papers in there, so I had to leave them on. But it doesn't really, it makes it stiff, but it doesn't, it just kind of holds everything in place. Here at the bottom half, I took some of these white leaves I got in a paper pack swap at Mini Album Scraps, and then I fussy cutted this little saying out of the paper, and I inked it and then glossy accented that. And then this is some pearl spray that I got from when I did my wedding flowers. These are little flowers I got from Craft Supply One on Zibbit. And then I took the little stems from the flowers and I curled them on my paintbrush. And then I took, oh, and then there's these flowers I got from Michaels and their Recollections, and I got these for my wedding. I put them on my daughter's flip-flops, or around their flip-flops, so I kind of had those. I needed something to kind of cover this little metal loop down here, because leaving it bare, it would have kind of been ugly. So then I glued all those down, and then I whitewashed the flowers and the leaves and like the pearl sprays with some gesso. And then I put this little butterfly with pearls, and this is Bling on a Roll from Recollections, and I got that from Michaels. And then from that metal little loop thing, I don't know if you can see it that well, I hung the, like a charm thing. These are beads that I got to do my stick pins in, and then the pearls. The only thing that I did do the stick pins kind of like this. The only thing is I got these bead caps from Joann's the other day. And then also these charms that says Made with Love. And then I hung some chain that I had in my stash. I just cut it up and hung it down there at the bottom. So, oh, and then the last thing that I did was I sprayed it with Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, the pearl. So it kind of makes it shiny in places. I think that that's pretty much it. All three traps are pretty much the same, and they were pretty fun to make. Some of them, like when it hangs, the chain's a little bit longer, but overall everything's pretty much the same on the feathers. Some of them are pretty fluffy and some of them aren't. So this is my project, and I hope that whoever gets them really likes them and enjoys them, and can do some fun things with these little note cards up here. Feel free to leave a comment below, and I appreciate everybody subscribing and watching, and hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.